Remember when common sense was common? When standing up for what is right was the right thing to do? Welcome to The Right Side. Common sense conversations about Hawaii's political landscape and how it affects you, your ohana, and your community. Join us for the next hour as we cut through the political noise and look at Hawaii from the right side, where public officials and community leaders discuss the policies that affect our future, strategies that move the needle, and highlight leaders that are stepping up to make a difference. Get ready for The Right Side, a common sense conversation.
All right, 808-913-6450. Producer Leah is standing in, ready for take your calls. Good afternoon, Malia.
Good afternoon, Augie.
It's been a long day for me.
I know. I don't know how you do it. You're so patient.
No, but I'm excited about just, a lot of things. And it's I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm tired. So you guys got to help me out. You guys got to call in and ask these men questions because we're talking recycling today, which is, on the minds of a lot of people because, one of the things that we discuss at the city council is landfill, and, what we want to try to do is put less in the landfill. And, we have blue, gray, and green bins. You don't just throw your rubbish in those because it's there. There's a reason why it's blue, gray, and green. But yet a lot of people still contaminate the bins because they don't know, they just figure, I can throw them in there. They don't know the process. And, what we're trying to do is eliminate a lot in the landfill by you being responsible and separating your trash so that, these guys make it, a lot easier for them. And at the same time, we're saving the planet.
We are saving the planet. And okay, so this is a little random, but my mom was a very strict Catholic, and so was my grandma. But my mom's philosophy, which is this, she would say, if you don't recycle, it's a sin. So I was raised recycling with the Catholic guilt aspect. So I just want you to know.
That's what happens.
And she's up in heaven watching right now going, yes, recycle.
Very good, my daughter. Doing everything that I told her to do. And no, but it's super important to recycle. I mean, especially right now.
Well, it makes you feel good, and you should do it.
Right.
And it makes sense. We're on an island.
Just say it, Malia. If you recycle, you're going to go to heaven.
That's right.
You get a free ticket.
I think that's a new motto.
Okay. All right. 808-913-6450. Kind of, giving you guys a little segue to what we're talking about. We're talking about recycling because it plays a crucial role in preserving Oahu's natural beauty and resources by diverting waste from landfills. We help protect our delicate ecosystem and support a sustainable future for our island. So, a couple of weeks back, we had Roger Babcock, Director of Environmental Services, who was a guest on our show, and he shared how the city is managing our wastewater and our refuse. So today, we have two guests who are experts at recycling. They will help us learn more about environmental innovation and sustainability for our island. And they can also share with you how, we can make sure that we are recycling properly. So this is your chance. Again, I'm exhausted from the day. I mean, there's nothing like sitting at city council for hours.
I should have brought you a Red Bull or something. No,
see, but I gotta go home
instead of water.
I want to go home and rest.
Okay.
I don't want all night just, turning my head back and forth. It'll just drive Kim nuts, Malia. My wife,
never mind.
She takes the the brunt of Augie, after giving the whole day. But you want to introduce our guest today?
Sure. Okay. Austin Tom is the manager of business development at Hawaiian Earth Products, where he helps turn green waste into compost and other resources that support farms, landscapes, and healthy environments across the island. He grew up on the east side of Oahu, although I heard he lives in Kailua, where I live, nearby. Right. And has always had a passion for sustainability and local agriculture with a background in farming and, agroecology. Agroecology. Austin is about finding practical ways to build a more sustainable Hawaii, starting from the ground up. And we also have Bruce Iverson, another Kailua resident.
Yes, ma'am.
This is like a Kailua strong.
I know, right? That's okay. No, it's all good. All good.
Came to Hawaii after living and working in Japan for 18 years. In Japan, he taught English, worked with churches, and was the first foreigner to work with Subaru in their car plant. When he decided to move back to the USA, he stopped in Hawaii for a sabbatical and never left. In 2004, he accepted a position with Reynolds Recycling to help the company expand and set up for the bottle deposit program. As a director of marketing and development, he's in charge of advertising and keeping the look and feel of all locations standardized the Reynolds way, which I'm sure we'll hear more about. He works with state government officials to ensure recycling locations meet state requirements and scouts statewide for new recycling locations.
All right, awesome. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you for having us.
All right, again, the number, because we want to hear from you, 808-913-6450. I do this because a lot of times, a lot of the shows are recorded or on the mainland, but we are live today. So if you have questions about recycling, I'm going to slow it down, 808-913-6450. Okay, Austin, let's start with you. My staff and I were able, to come to your green waste recycling operation on the North Shore, and it was super impressive. Can you share a little bit about your company, Hawaiian Earth Products?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for having us. So just quick background, Hawaiian Earth Products, we started in 1993. Been around for a little while, been composting for a little while. We are Hawaii's largest green waste recycling company. We work really closely with City and County. We work closely with Department of Ag, Department of Health. We are a Department of Health certified recycling facility. At the core, our company is really committed to sustainability. We take in green waste, divert it from going to landfills, transform it into something that farmers, gardeners, landscapers, anyone can use compost. And so it's just going to help bring soil back to life and just overall heal our landscapes.
Oh, that's awesome. We need to rehab our soil, and that's one of the ways of doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely.
Bruce, can you tell us a little bit more about Reynolds Recycling and what your company does?
Okay. Thank you for having us. So Reynolds Recycling has been in Hawaii since 1981. Originally, we were part of the Reynolds aluminum foil people. Mm-hmm. When they built a can bottling plant over in the Campbell Industrial Area. Not long after that, they decided to put in a recycling facility as well to collect those cans and then recycle them. So we've been here since, as I said, 81 and opened up with one location at a time. And then when the bottle deposit loss started in 2005, I started right before then to increase the number of locations, to increase customer convenience. And that's what we do, is help customers recycle, and we redeem their cans and bottles. So the other thing we do is we actually recycle scrap metal. So not everything, but we do recycle a lot.
That's awesome. Okay, so for both of you, what's your key message to the people listening right now about why they should recycle? And we do, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a call. So we can either take the call. You guys want to take this call? Let's do RB from Hawaii Kai. RB, what's going on? You got a question?
Yeah, I have a question. There was a building, and it was a few years ago, so I don't know if they still do it or if there's some idea behind it that I don't understand. But this condo building, what they would do when the truck came up, and I think it was a private truck that picked up the trash, and they would dump the trash and the recycling in the same truck. They'd mix them up. So I was just wondering, is that normal? Why they do that and that kind of thing?
RB, thanks for the question. And you guys,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling. Appreciate you.
That can I?
Yes.
In? That was probably a private company, and I know for the multifamily dwellings, they're required to have their own garbage pickups. It used to be the city was doing some, but then they stopped. So that private company was probably tasked with picking up the trash and picking up the recyclables as well.
Yeah.
Now, what they do with that after that point, it's a little hard to say. Obviously, it sounds like they were putting it all together.
Correct. It sounds like that.
It sounds like it was all going to the same place, which is not what it should be doing. But it is probably legal for them to do it. But it's not what we would want.
Okay. Perfect. Hope that answers your question, RB. But again, 808-913-6450. So the question was the key message you want our listeners to learn, to know about why they should recycle. Who wants to jump on that one first? Okay.
Continuing with the caller's question, it's so important to recycle, and it's easy for people to get, like you're feeling today, exasperated. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my gosh, we separated our material and it all got thrown in the same truck. That does happen. It shouldn't happen, but Reynolds is here to help make it easy. That's why we collect all of the high five deposit beverage containers, your aluminum, plastic, glass, steel, and bimetal cans. And we try and open locations everywhere so that it's convenient for all the consumers. There's a lot of probably bad press where people think, you recycle something and then it just goes in the trash, exactly right. Like our caller said. That may happen. It's not supposed to happen. It certainly doesn't happen with Reynolds. But, in the past, that probably happened more than it should be happening now.
I appreciate that answer. We have Joe from Eva, but we'll take his call when we come back. This is the right side, a common sense conversation. And then Austin, we got Austin to answer that question. 808-913-6450. And thanks a lot for joining in this afternoon on this Wednesday.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversations.
808-913-6450. We talking recycling, and we do have Joe from Eva Beach on the phone line. Joe, you there?
I am.
How's it going? What's your question?
Hey. So my question is for the earth recycling guy.
Okay.
So I live in Eva, got a lot of farms, drop my stuff up there all the time. I don't think a lot of people know about, like, private citizens can go up there and drop off, like, full, like, pickup trucks full of stuff, like, super easy. But I also was able to buy some stuff there. Like, they'll dump, like, full loads of, like, compost and stuff in the back of your truck. What all kind of stuff do you guys sell to consumer in either a bag or, like, in a pickup truck full?
Great question, Joe. And again, thank you so much for calling. Austin,
Yeah, thank you, Joe, again, for visiting us and being an awesome customer. So we have a lot of products, and I think a lot of people actually still don't know about us. But you are right. Residents can come to our facility, drop off their green waste, and then now that your truck bed is full, we sell a variety of products, whether it be compost, custom soil blends, cinder, wood mulch, kind of whatever you need. What I recommend to people who are interested is just come in the office store. We have a super friendly staff who are more than welcome to help you out. So, yeah.
We had that experience when we went there. We had such a great office visit, and we learned a lot about your company. And I was amazed that, just anybody can drive up, and also you can purchase basically what you've recycled from people,
yes,
right?
Yes, it's really cool. And as soon as you walk into our front door, we have these crack seed jars that has all of our different blends. You can actually open it up, feel it, smell it. I don't recommend tasting it, but you can immerse yourself and see if you want to go home with that product.
Cool. I don't know. This is like a totally random question, but have you ever found a coqui frog in your mulch?
We haven't. So our mulch goes through a pretty extensive PFRP process.
That's good. Yeah.
And so it basically eradicates and eliminates all invasive species.
That's awesome. I remember that you talked, that we learned about that, how you process it and it takes out everything.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you about some tips on green waste recycling and also other recyclables. If you can give the public some tips or us some tips on how to do it properly.
I'll go first on the green waste. First of all, I think people need to understand what green waste is. Green waste, some people mix that with compostables, but the two aren't the same. Green waste is stuff like grass clippings, branches, leaves. And if you're actually confused, you can check your green bin if you have one. And there's a nice list on the green bin that says all the stuff that is considered green waste that can be thrown into the green bin.
And that's not paper bags, plastic bags.
Correct. No plastic bags. It's got to be, organic material that's been growing and cut down. So, yeah.
So basically,
when you go, and we're going to suggest that everyone take the tour of the trash. so that you understand what happens to your trash. But like, man, the process when it gets dumped up in your facility and they gotta pull up plastics,
It's
By
crazy.
hand.
it's tedious.
We have
right?
full-time team. All they do is pick up trash or take contamination out of the green waste. So sometimes that's plastic bags. Sometimes we find woks. Sometimes we find microwaves. But unfortunately, our team, someone has to open up each of those plastic bags, make sure that it's not more trash inside, and make sure it's if it is green waste, accept it. So that's one of the biggest things that we're trying to get across is you gotta be maka'ala. You do the right thing and don't just throw what's convenient in the green bin.
And basically, you want to have people just put in the leaves, just put in the grass, no bag.
Correct. So it's got to be loose. I think what happens too is, you're raking up leaves. You got it in a big plastic bag. The easiest thing for you to do is throw the whole plastic bag inside. But, the right thing to do is open up that plastic bag, shake out the leaves. Well, and now you could reuse that plastic bag. So
Yeah.
I have this really cool thing I found on Amazon that's like a yard bag. It's a big yard bag, and you just fill it up, and then you dump it in your green bin. So it's not there's no plastic, and it's just reusable. So it's like a giant shopping bag, but it's for leaves.
yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
That works really well. Yeah.
Hey, Bruce, you have any tips for our listeners?
Sure. It's like people think of recycling, and it's like, what we do in some ways is very similar, in some ways is very different. We actually pay for everything that comes in. So when you're donating for your green waste, you're just donating that. What we do is we actually are buying it. So technically for the Hawaii deposit beverage containers, we're redeeming / buying it back. And then for the scrap metal, we're actually buying it. And again, the deposit beverage containers, every container is worth 5 cents. And if we're weighing it, then there are rates that are set by the state. For the scrap metal, again, it depends on world scrap metal pricing. And we try and keep it fairly stable. It doesn't move all that much. But like the other day, the world market dropped $1 a pound for copper overnight. And that was because of the tariffs on Chile, I believe. So we try and stabilize. We did drop our price a little bit for copper, but only 10 cents. But we're paying people for all their unused stuff. So
it's a good exercise also, from a very long time, I would take my hair and the kids to a Reynolds Recycling location. You can go to reynoldsrecycling.com/locations and you can find where to go. And, it's a fun day for the family to come out there and separate your plastic bottles, separate your recycled can, and then know that you can get something from it, but then you really helping the earth, and you making it easier for those guys to come and dump the trash, especially the trash that needs to be burned.
exactly.
I was just curious, is it a specific kind of metal or any metals, or and how big, how much do you take?
We can take almost anything, depending on the location. I like to say for the scrap metal, we do our ABCs: aluminum, brass, copper. So virtually anything that's made out of those three we can take. Now, there are some requirements, for example, for copper and the paperwork that's required, but we can buy anything. I think my boss likes to talk about the one time that he actually bought a whole aluminum canoe. In one piece. He had to balance it on a scale and then find a way to put it inside the trailer, but he did buy it. So we can buy pretty much anything.
Wow.
We get a lot of, how long ladders can be. We get a lot of ladders.
Oh, interesting, because that's aluminum.
Because it's aluminum.
Oh.
And, you misuse it, it falls over, it bends or something, and it's not really safe anymore. So perfect. Just bring it to us so we can recycle it for you and pay you at the same time.
That's nice. See that, guys? 808-913-6450. Austin, you guys have a fun fact on your company website about how much your company has recycled over the last 30 years. Can you tell our listeners about that?
Yeah, so over the past 30 years, kind of a fun fact is we've collected and recycled over 2.6 million tons. What does that look like? So on our website, you can check it out. But if you were to imagine Diamond Head Crater, 2.6 million tons would fill that with green waste and probably a little bit more. And then for another reference, since we're in Hawaii and we speak in terms of Tacomas, think of your, Tacoma truck bed.
Of course.
3 to 4 of them is probably about 1 ton of green waste.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, and then some of us, that love to cut the grass, like myself, that's, again, another fun exercise that you can do with your children to teach them the importance of, now you get on place to take that green waste and not just, throw it in a bin. Bruce, how many locations do you have on Oahu, and what should people expect when they get there? And, again, we talked about you kind of ran through some of the things that can be recycled, but just in case people are stopping, what is this all about? Can you recap on that again?
Yep. We have 11 locations on Oahu. We have 1 each on Kauai and Maui. So every location, when you get there, you'll find a whole slew of garbage barrels. And we don't use them for garbage. We use those for recyclables only. And so hopefully people are bringing in their cans and bottles already sorted. We do encourage people to sort them at home just because it's so much easier.
Yes.
You can take your time, get your kids involved. And then when you bring it to us, put all your cans in one barrel, put all your plastic in a separate barrel, glass, et cetera, et cetera. And then we will bring it up to the trailer, weigh it on our scales. The scales are all certified by the state, so you know that they're correct. And then we'll pay you out based on the rates set by the state. So those should be correct as well. We'll give you cash, and you don't have the trash to take home or the recyclables to take home, but we'll have money instead.
Right. Less in your gray bin, less to burn, and you're earning.
Yes.
You're earning something as well. You're giving back to the earth.
To the earth.
808-913-6450 if you want to talk recycling, or you have a question for Bruce and Austin. We're talking recycling today. It's the right side, a common sense conversation. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. Let's get back to Common Sense Conversations.
808-913-6450. We have Austin Tom from Hawaiian Earth Products and Bruce Iverson from Reynolds Recycling to take your calls at 808-913-6450. For the last almost 30 minutes now, we've been talking about recycling and the importance of, recycling your products. We talk about green, gray and blue bins. There's importance of making sure that you put them in there so that, when it goes to Hawaiian Earth, it doesn't get contaminated with the rubbish, that you put in the gray bin. And then knowing that you can recycle, your bottles, your cans and your plastic bottles, and be paying you back to do that. The more we burn, the less it goes in the landfill. So I know, Malia, you have a question?
Well, I do, because here I am sitting here with a bottle and it has a cap on it. What do I do with that cap? Can I stick it back on the bottle, or do I throw it out? What do we do with the cap?
It's a great question. There are a lot of caps now. I forget which manufacturer puts them on, but they actually started a nationwide campaign which says recycle bottle with cap on. And they actually showed me a copy of that before they started. And I said, it's great. For some places that don't have any recycling at all, it's a great message to put out. Unfortunately, in Hawaii, that's not legal for us to redeem them with the caps on. So for anything that you're going to bring to a recycler for redemption, all those caps have got to be taken off. So take them off, put them in the trash. They'll go to H-Power and the waste to energy recycling, meaning that they'll be burned up in H-Power.
So I went to visit my son in Greece recently, and none of the caps come off.
Oh,
So like when you try to get, I was like wrestling it for the first 2 days, and then I finally figured out, you know what? No bottles have the caps come off. It's just stuck there.
Poke a hole on the bottom of the.
So they twist off, but then you have to drink it, and it's like sticking on your nose and everything.
Yep.
But they actually, I guess it's smart because then there aren't caps everywhere.
Different countries have different rules and regulations, and that is one way to deal with it. Again, in Hawaii, when the bottle deposit law was written, all of that was obviously same as it is now, where the caps come off easily. And they have tried to put some regulations through about caps, but the bottle caps are actually different material, so they should come off and not be recycled together with the bottals.
Okay.
Man, see, a lot
Good
of
to
people
know.
didn't know that, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, 808-913-6450. Mali has a question now, I think, for Austin.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Can you tell us about how do you contribute to local agriculture? I mean, I know you have compost and things like that you sell, but what other ways might you contribute to local agriculture?
Yeah, so that's a really cool part about the job I get to do is I get to work with a lot of local farmers, help them develop a blend of soil that they need. And this relationship that we have with them is sometimes farmers, they produce waste, green waste. Sometimes it's bananas that have bunchy top virus. They want to remove that from their property, so they take it to us. We can compost it, turn it into a resource that they can then reuse into the farm. So for them, it's a very full circle type of system. And so we really enjoy seeing, farmers' waste help them grow their own food again.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's really worth going out to your property because I can see what you're saying, having been there with all these stations and people working and all these products and everything. But Augie and I and our staff, or his staff, at the council, we all went on this. He's talking about the tour to trash. And basically what the city did was they told us to go around to these different places. We did have Henry, right, from the city. And we went to the recycling places. We went to your place. We went to the H-Power. And we went to the landfill. Mm-hmm. And it was a great educational experience to learn about all those things.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand, especially with the landfill. Everyone has this picture. And we all saw it growing up, right? Just this place where there's, just a trash everywhere, birds flying, and it's nothing like that.
We didn't see any birds. And we also didn't see any trash flying.
And it's like the most amazing scenic view, from on top of the landfill, overlooking, the Hawaiian coast. It's just the most amazing sight. Yeah, we need to educate the public. And again, we want to try to put less in the landfill. And we can do that by doing what we have right now and taking care of our resources and making sure that, people recycle and getting back because of the recycling, like our farmers or the simple person that, look, what I like about it and what we're trying to do, I'm just gonna put it out there because I'm hoping that whoever's listening in Waipahu, we want to have a Reynolds recycling station in Waipahu because it does also deter crime in some small ways. A lot of our homeless community, they're out there, cleaning our area, picking up the cans and then recycling and then getting a little bit extra in their pocket.
Yes.
Yeah. So that will help. Like a little.
Well, I was thinking that too, Augie, because we always deal with illegal dumping. This man right here, that's his passion. We go and we clean up places. It's incredible, the illegal dumping. But if they knew they could get metal, redemption for something, maybe they won't dump it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's why it's so important to, for us to educate the public. And again, be transparent. And, we're going to do whatever we can to educate tomorrow, the next generation tomorrow, so that we don't have to deal with the challenges we are challenged with right now. Bruce, can you share some insights on how recycling rates have changed over the years in Hawaii and what factors have influenced these trends?
Sure. As you probably know, the deposit beverage container law started in 2005. And, the recycling rate took a while to increase. The highest recycling rate was actually in 2009 when it reached, I believe, 79%, which is actually really, really good. It has been dropping, and currently, according to the Department of Health, for the 2024 fiscal year, that actually was 54.5%. So it dropped quite a bit. Unfortunately, it puts us nationwide in second from the bottom, next to Massachusetts, which there's a big gap between number one at the bottom and us. They were 38%, we're 54.5%. But most of that seems to be driven by convenience. And again, as everyone knows, traffic in Hawaii is bad. So if it takes time, if it's difficult to get to a recycling center or a redemption center, people don't want to go. It's like, I'll go some other time. And maybe I'll get lazy and just throw it in the trash.
Right.
So unfortunately, the more of that exists, the lower the redemption rate.
Right.
But it's also something which we've seen nationwide. All of the states that have redemption, they've actually all gone down, especially after COVID. And no one can really figure out exactly what it is. Some of it is convenience. California, they lost, I believe, over 800 redemption centers.
Is it because maybe the cost of living too?
But, you're still paying.
Right.
And you would think people would still want to get the deposit back. And I think there are two different groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
People that don't need the money, that want to recycle just because it's the right thing to do. And then there are other people who it really does make a difference for their budgets to get that money back. So for the first one, hopefully they're doing it because they should do it. And the other one, they hopefully are doing it because they need the money and it'll help their family income.
Awesome. Yeah. Austin, what are some common misconceptions about composting and green waste recycling that you would like to clarify?
Yeah, I think the first one is compost is not dirt. Compost, it's biologically active. It's something that is crafted. It's something nature does. It's something that we're replicating. It's something that you can add to your soil that's gonna bring microbes. It's gonna make nutrients more accessible for your plants. And so that's the first thing, compost. It's not dirt. We're not just selling dirt. And then the second thing is composting isn't as easy as people think. We've been doing it for over 30 years, so it might look easy, but it very much is a science. You have to measure temperature consistently, moisture, your feedstock matters, so your carbon to nitrogen ratios. And so sometimes what we see is, guys try to do it in their backyard. It's like, oh, why does my compost stink? Why are there rats, cockroaches? First of all, Department of Health issue right there. And then, you're not making compost. That's, I don't know, a pile of slop in your backyard. And so I think that's the second thing is we want to, composting, it's not easy. That's why you should, take care of your green waste in a responsible way.
Yeah, take a drive on your way to the North Shore, where you can go and learn, educate yourself. Again, there's so much ways to, get that education and work with the people that know how to, compost the right way. Now, talk a little bit about, rehabbing your dirt.
Yeah, so the first thing we always recommend is, what are you growing, right? Are you growing in pots? Are you growing in the ground? If you're growing in the ground, we recommend just using our Menehune Magic Compost. You can put down an inch, sprinkle it around your plants, integrate it into the soil. But if you're growing pots, you don't want to just use pure compost. We have another product called Menehune Magic Potting Mix that has local ingredients, has cinder, and so you're going to get more drainage, better for pots, that type of stuff.
Yeah, and it's called Menehune for a reason. It's magic. 808-913-6450. If you got a question, this is the right side. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up again. And I hope that you guys are getting a lot of great information because it's so important, to teach our children now so that we can, again, save the earth and really, really, and give back. That's a way of giving back. 808-913-6450. This is the right side, a common sense conversation.
Welcome back to The Right Side with Hawaii public officials and community leaders. let's get back to Common Sense Conversations.
808-913-6450. This is the last break. I hope that you learned a lot today about recycling. I want to thank RB from Hawaii Kai and Joe from Ever Beach for calling in.
Hey, if we get one more caller, it might be a record. So anyone out there want to call? Make
you're really
history.
Dreaming big today, Malia. 808-913-6450. I mean, we've talked some heavy stuff, guys, from child trafficking,
past, yeah.
homelessness, fireworks, and people are excited about recycling, right, Producer Leah? People are excited about, recycling. So if you want to ask your question and break our record today, 808-913-6450. Bruce, how can people, Reynolds help groups with fundraising, and how much money can they potentially raise?
Sure, great question. Reynolds has been helping groups, clubs, and organizations recycle and make money that way since we started here in Hawaii. But if maybe a project graduation or some sort of class project, they want to do a recycling event, we can either bring a trailer out, we can leave it for sometimes up to a month. If they fill that trailer with aluminum cans, it could probably be worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,000.
You hear that?
So a big drop for Project Grad.
And that is a big pizza party for somebody's class. Huh?
That sounds
hopefully more than one
like
class.
A trip. That sounds like a trip to Vegas.
Yes.
You probably heard stories of people doing that.
Yes, we have.
Yeah?
Actually, we've had one young man who does recycling for college.
Yes.
And his father was actually amazing. We lent him a trailer for one weekend at Pearl Ridge, and he was as good or better than some of our own employees. He stuffed a trailer with 8,000 pounds of material.
Wow.
Which we don't see very often. It was really, really, really stuffed. But he did it. He filled the trailer in 3 days, I think.
That is so awesome. You see that? You not only, you're educating a lot of people about the importance again, and again, that's another way you can raise money for your school, maybe a sports team, maybe an organization or church. How about a church? Like a church fundraiser, So you can get a hold of Reynolds by
calling 808-487-2802.
Okay, Austin, what are some of challenges does Hawaiian Earth Products face in promoting responsible waste management, and how are you guys addressing that?
Yeah, so there's a couple things, challenges that we're facing. One of them being contamination, another one being illegal dumping of green waste. What that does is, once you dump green waste on the side of the road, no one's managing it. It can harbor invasive species. It can dry out, become fire fuel for wildfire. And so some of these challenges that we face is a lack of enforcement, right? Who's stopping anyone from putting their toaster in the green bin or dumping this on the side of the road? Someone's supposed to, but we don't have that enforcement. But, maybe these guys are doing it because they don't know any better. And so the second thing is we need more educational outreach, educating the community why we shouldn't be just dumping green waste on the side of the freeway, why it matters where you put recyclable items. I mean, recycling only works if people do it correctly.
Correct. Yeah. No. And like Malia was saying, I think, during the break, I'm a huge advocate for that. I mean, it's called a convenience center for a reason, guys. You can go online and see whether or not there's a long line, but you're spending a day doing your yard. The last thing you want to do is throw it on the side of the road. Again, the invasive species and gets dried up. Somebody lights a match or throws a cigarette, and then there you go. You have a fire. So guys, so important. Okay, for both of you, because I just got Leah just showed me the 3 minutes. What future initiatives are you and your companies are planning to enhance sustainability on Oahu? Who wants to tackle that?
Sure.
First.
I'll jump in. Reynolds is always looking to improve customer convenience. So we are looking to expand and open new locations. We would love to open a location in Waipahu.
Come on, Waipahu.
Yes, come on, Waipahu. But, the more convenient it is, the more people will be ready and know that it's going to be a fast trip. So we're always looking to expand. So if you have an idea of a location that might work, feel free to give us a call. You can either call the number I gave you before, 808-487-2802, or our website, which is reynoldsrecycling.com. There's actually a Contact Us page. Put it on there, and trust me, I will get it.
How much space do you need to have a recycling center?
It's actually not that much. We will drop a 45 to 48 foot trailer, and so normally we say that's about 5 to 6 parking stalls, and then a couple of parking stalls to work in, and so that's less than 10 parking stalls total.
There you go.
But yeah, we always pay. We used to have several locations where the landlord was so encouraging of recycling that they actually gave us space for free, but those days have pretty much gone. But so we do pay rent, and we're covered by all the insurances required, and we are also state certified convenience centers, so we're ready to.
How about my front yard?
Probably your neighbors would be a little offended.
Austin, you wanna wrap things up for us?
Yeah, I'd love to. So something we're in the process of completing, hopefully by the end of this year, is we're gearing up to be able to accept food waste. So that's residential food waste. That's commercial food waste. We're working with the City and County of Honolulu. Residents hopefully will soon be able to dispose of green waste into their green bin, and all of that will just come to us instead of going to the landfill, create a higher quality compost for you guys. So we're really excited about that.
And that's what it's all about, guys. We appreciate you guys coming on today. Next week, we talk social media, correct?
Right. We have some interesting people coming on the show.
Thank you, producer Leah. Thank you, Bruce. And thank you, Austin. And thank you, Malia. We'll see you guys next week on the right side of Common Sense Conversation.